Basically, I'm watching this Fortnite video in the background, so just don't mind that. But yeah. So basically, what I want to show you guys is basically let me just put this on low. Okay, there you go. We're good, right? So basically, what I want to show you guys is the fact that, for example, let's say, all right, let's first look at the 4 hour. Okay, I'm just gonna do this with 4 hour and 15 minute just to show you guys that this works. So for example, like as you can see, right, all these swings, right, need to be rebalanced. For example, you don't want to like look too far, like for example over here, right? You just want to look at the current trend, right? And you want to see which extreme low was rebalanced. For example, like let's say over here, right, these extreme lows, like as you can see, like when it kept breaking structure, like after this sweep, when it kept breaking structure, it just puts all these like swing lows. Even though it broke structure, it just kept putting these lows, right, the swing lows over here, right? What I'm saying is, for example, like these lows, right, these lows did not take the liquidity out whatsoever, right? But the thing about this is that these highs, right,
Bro, you're actually the smartest player ever.
you guys can see that these highs are equal highs. Okay, these are equal highs, which means there's a lot of resistance liquidity right above. And you can see that these highs over here took out this high, which means now these highs have a lot of resistance liquidity right above them, right? Which means once, let's say for example, like if you just zoom out in this specific part of the trend, right, this spot is the only thing that manipulates this liquidity sweep, right? So once we manipulate this liquidity sweep, you see all this, like up to this point, like in this specific trend, like in this specific leg, like if you look at this leg as like one singular leg, this one is as leg number 2, 3, 4, and like that. You can see that this swing low, right? This is low resistance liquidity. You know why? Because these swings right here did not actually sweep this liquidity, which means at a later time, it will eventually sweep this liquidity. But then once it sweeps this liquidity, what does it do? It goes and goes, and it takes out this liquidity. You know why? Because this right here, this was taken out by this, but then this wasn't taken out before. So now what I'm expecting, especially with the bias of the fact that we are bullish on this specific trend, as you can see, I'm expecting price to low-key finish this whole cycle. Now, some people call this a market maker buy model. Every time there is a sell side of the curve and then the buy side of the curve. But you want to apply this with context. For example, there is a manipulation leg over here, right? This manipulation leg. So this manipulation leg, you see this market structure shift? Now, if you look at this in like, obviously this is the 4 hours, so this is a kind of a bad example to just be like stretching out the chart like this. But like, you get the point, right? So basically okay, let me just make things a little more clear. Let me go to the 15 minute, alright? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select some random point in the chart. Okay, I'm just going to select here. Okay, some random point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom out and see what's going on. Right? So as you can see, okay, it doesn't render. Okay, never mind, it does render. Okay, so as you can see, all these lows were taken out by this swing low, right? But then once this swing low, right, this swing low takes out all these resistance liquidity over here, right? All these lows included, right? All these lows were taken out by this one swing low, right? Because this was taken out, right? So what I'm saying is, now as soon as it takes out this swing low, right, you can see this intra-term high, right? This intra-term high over here is broken, and then it pulls back, right? It pulls back, but it doesn't pull back exactly towards like somewhere here, but it does pull back, and then it just keeps breaking structure towards the upside, right? And then where are we headed, right? So if you look at this trend, for example, right? Let me not take this. Just don't overcomplicate it. Just look at the exact trend that we're in. For example, you can see that these highs. So let's see which was what liquidity was taken out and what liquidity wasn't taken out. For example, you can see that this liquidity sweep, okay, this liquidity over here swept this high, but it did not take this high. So you can see the market has been going lower and lower and lower to rebalance these lows, which means price at some point, right, will in fact go higher. So let's say, for example, hypothetically you entry somewhere here, targeting these lows. Obviously you won't be entering there, so let me just make this a little more realistic. And let's say you target, this is not really a realistic scenario, but let's say for example you target these highs or this specific high because this has not been swept, Now you have a what? This is over here. Over here you have a 1 to 14 ratio trade. Okay, so what I usually do is I divide it by 2, so it's about 7.5. So let me just take like a 7.2, so 7.2, and now let me just let this play out. Kind of slow. I don't know why it's not playing. But anyways, yeah, I don't know why it's not playing, but I think it's because this data is like pretty old on it. It's February, so even if you see these, don't worry, because you can even like put this like 10 pips below the swing low. Also, you want to pay attention to just things like this. For example, this high technically swept these highs over here, so that means there's this is holding a much bigger ground over here. So you can in fact TP here. It's like a 1 to 29, almost a 1 to 30. See if it hits full TP. So this is the sell side of the curve, and this is the buy side of the curve. Obviously, like in a realistic scenario, you wouldn't be taking a 1 to 29 or 1 to 30 unless you have like consistent profitability on like 1 to 5s. So as you can see, we are in fact, yeah, we're breaking structure towards the upside. Boom, TP. So what I'm expecting now, as you guys can see, all these highs, right? All these highs over here, up to this point right here, as you can see, right, has not been rebalanced. Which means, okay, there's a pretty good chance that this is going to be rebalanced. Which means, if you take it all the way from here, right? Oh yeah, that's like 1 to 14 at that point. Yeah. Play it out. Let's see how this plays out. Oh my god. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see. Okay, seems to be consolidating for a while. That's okay, because this is a huge trade, mind you. This is from the 24th of February. No, the 14th of February until the 13th of March. It's like basically a month. More than a month. Because it took up to like, I think 30th to hit the TP. So that was like it was a huge trade. So ideally you wouldn't be taking trades like this. Anyways, I just want to prove to you guys like this always works. Like for example, not always, but you get the point, right? So like if you see, for example, like over here, this high has swept these equal highs, which means this manipulation right here is valid because these highs have been swept by this. But then if we look at the rest of it, you can see that all this liquidity still needs to be taken out, all these highs, because none of them are manipulated. For example, this one, see, some people call this a long-term high. This right here is a long-term high, as you guys can see, and you can see that there is a long-term high over here which is not swept as well. As you can see, there's no other sweeps over here, so this is a long-term high. That price does need to rebalance this leg before moving anyway. So I'm gonna also look at the daily CRT. For example, let's say over here what we're seeing is the 15th of March 2024. That was earlier this year. So what I'm gonna expect here is two things. Okay, I'm expecting a PDA rebalance. For example, it could be an order block, fair value gap, or a swing high or low. So over here we see this order block over here, right? So although we see this order block over here, right, you can see that this price leg, there is a bearish fair value gap over here. So let's mark the previous day. Okay, this is the current day. Think of it as if we are in the 18th of March, and this is the previous day. Now if you can see this, you can see that there is a manipulation above this wick, and then we have a distribution leg right after. Now this manipulated towards the 4-hour daily fair value gap, and then it seems to be going lower, right? It seems to be going lower. So I'm expecting price to take out the lows of the previous day, for example, That was over here. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, never mind. Contrary. So it say okay, never mind. This was the actual sweep, my bad. So this was the actual sweep. As you can see, the candle actually because this wasn't really wicking in through the fair value gap, so now it's sweeping the forward daily fair value gap. Boom. As you can see. So now we have a manipulation right here. So I'm expecting a price rebalance. So low key, I'm expecting price to sort of rebalance here. Let's see what it does. So I'm just gonna get rid of this because now this is mitigated. My bad. Let me just delete this real quick. Okay, so you can see that this is the previous day. My bad. Sorry. So this is the previous day. Let me play the, okay, never mind. This was the same day, my bad. So this was the previous day. You see that it swept the highs and now it swept the lows as well. It bounced off this fair value gap. So now I'm expecting price, right? Let's see what it does. Okay, keeps going lower. So we're expecting a price rebalance over here. We're expecting price to be balanced out over here. This is mitigated already, so as you can see. But I'm expecting price to rebalance over here. Let's see what it does. Boom. Okay, so we see this manipulation. Okay, so now, as you can see, we see this manipulation properly. And once we see this manipulation, I'm expecting a price reversal. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we close one higher. Let's go. Okay, we're closing higher. Now we're aiming towards what? Let's see if there's a daily candle. So we have a daily candle. So let me just get rid of all this. So now we have this as our previous daily candle. So we see this order block retest over here, manipulation. So now I'm expecting price to take out the previous day's high. Okay, so let's see how it does on the forward. So let's see how it plays out. So let's see. Okay, that's fine. Manipulation. This is basically proving to us that this is going to be going towards the swing high. Okay. Okay, never mind. Seems like we had this. Okay, it's almost towards the manipulation. Okay. Okay, never mind. Closed higher. And boom, TP, just like that. So it almost came to the stop loss, but then it went all the way to take profit. So pretty much in this scenario, I'm gonna look at the daily candle again. So as you guys can see that this is the previous day. This is the previous day. So I need to see a previous day candle properly being formed. So for example, let's imagine as if we are living the 20th of March, 2024. So yeah, so that's probably never going to happen. But basically, as you guys can see over here, this swing high was taken out, right? So I'm expecting some sort of manipulation reaction or a PDA reaction over here. So I'm expecting, if it's a PDA reaction, I'm expecting this to be taken. So until then, I'm pretty bullish. So let's expect price to see a reaction over here. Okay, so let's expect price to go higher. Okay, now we're going lower. Okay, so we took the high of the previous day, so let's expect price to take the lows. Boom. Okay, so that was pretty fucking cool, right? So now let me go forward, and as you guys can see, this is the previous day candle right here. And let's see. Okay, so we see this basically this is where we are. So we took out the lows, right? So we swept this liquidity, as you can see. All this liquidity has been swept. So now I have, once I see a proper wick at the bottom right here, if I see a proper wick over here, I'm expecting a price reversal. Let's see how it does. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. So we seem to have an order block over here. So this is an order block over here. So now I'm expecting price to low-key go up to the highs of the previous day. The previous day highs. Let's see how it goes. Price rebalance, manipulation. Okay. We're retesting this order block. See how it does. manipulation once again through the order block. So now I have a bullish bias towards this swing high. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, never mind. My bias was fucking wrong. Oh, it happens sometimes. It's okay. Okay. So now let's go back. Okay, so let's see what's happening with price right now. Let me just play this. So as you guys can see, this is the previous day candle. Okay, so it seems like we are in fact coming to rebalance this order block over here. So I'm expecting a sweep, and then once price sweeps, okay, so once I see a proper sweep, that's when I'm expecting price to go higher, right? So let me just take a one candle forward. Okay, so we see this sweep over here. You see this. So we see this liquidity sweep. So now I'm expecting price to take it towards the previous day's high. Let's see how this plays out in the 4-hour. So we see this manipulation. We're going to expect a distribution leg towards the previous day's high. Let's see how this plays out. Boom, TP, as you guys can see. So it's pretty fucking simple. Happens most of the time, right? So as you guys can see, we seem to have this previous day. So obviously previous day swept the lows, and this was rebalancing towards this order block over here. So now this is a reclaimed order block over here. As you can see, it swept these lows over here, and then through the order block we had a fair value gap, a PD area manipulation. Now we're seeing a distribution leg right after. So let's see on the 4-hour. So we took out this, so now let's expect this to be, let me mark out the previous day. So in this case, the previous day is this point, okay? But we have a bullish bias because now we swept these lows, right? So now we have a bullish bias at least until, so we took these lows. So now obviously like this is pretty obvious though, but I'm having a bullish bias at least until this order block over here. So let's see what the retest is. And boom, we have a manipulation right here. So now I'm expecting a price retest. So let's see where it's going to retest towards. It could, I'm just going to get rid of this because it's already retested. So this could be rebalanced over here. So I'm expecting a price rebalance. So either it rebalances over here and goes higher. Let's see how it plays out. So let me mark out the high and the low of the previous day. So it swept this high, as you guys can see, with this candle. Now I'm expecting this to be bearish for now. Boom. Okay. So now we have this. And now, once we see the proper manipulation, let me expect a reversal. Okay. So I need to see a proper manipulation, for example. Let's see how this plays out. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, so now we see a manipulation, as you guys can see. So now let's expect price to take this higher towards the previous day's high. Okay. So let me just mark out the previous day's high. So the previous day's high was over here, right? So as you can see, this was a extreme manipulation. So I'm expecting price to reversal. See how this plays out. Nope, seems like our bias was wrong. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. So at some point, it's going to shift market structure. Oops. Over here. And then we're going to have a pullback towards some point. So I'm expecting, let's see, this order block to be reclaimed. Okay. No, not this, my bad. Order block to be reclaimed. This area. Let's see how price retests this area. Okay, so if we see the manipulation, now we're expecting a distribution leg towards the highs. But in this case, let me just look at the daily frame real quick. So as you guys can see, we will aim towards, okay, I don't want to aim towards extreme high goals, right? So obviously, what I'm going to aim for over here is this high, okay? This high over here, okay? So let's see how this plays out. Boom, TP, just like that, okay? So what I'm expecting, so basically what I'm saying is, you want to look at the previous day's candle, okay? Previous day's candle. You want to look at the whole daily CRT or candle range. What was the fucking word for it? Candle range theory. Okay, I can't fucking spell that for some reason. But you can see that this order block over here has been retested over here, as you can see. So now with this retest, I'm expecting this order block to be the secondary retest, which it retested. Now we're going higher, right? So basically what I'm saying is, now that we have this, okay, so let me just go forward one day. So as you can see, we have this doji candle over here. So over here we have this high, okay, and this low. So what I'm expecting price to do is, if because it's bearish and it swept this high over here, I'm expecting price. Let's see what it does here. I'm expecting price. So as you can see, there's an order block over here, right? So I'm expecting price to Lowkey sweep this and then go lower towards the previous day's low over here. All right, let's see how this plays out. Okay, now we swept this high. Okay, we don't see a market structure shift yet. Okay, so we see this market structure, this sweep over here, this huge wick. Okay, and then we have this, which is taking price lower. I'm expecting price to take out the, let's see, the previous day. So it seems like we have, okay, we have a few days over here. So this is the previous day at this point. So I'm expecting price to low key. Because it took out the lows, I'm expecting price to take out the highs of this candle. See how this plays? Nope, my bias was wrong. That's okay. Okay, so basically, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we swept these lows. Okay, so it seems like we are, let's see if we have a proper rebalance. Nope, there's trendline liquidity over here. There's a lot of this is basically a low resistance liquidity run. So at some point I'm expecting price to low key rebalance and then go higher, right? But right now is not the time for it because I'm not seeing a proper market structure shift. Let's see if we see a proper market structure shift. Let me go back in time. Let's see if we can. So basically what I'm saying is, first look at the candles, obviously. Like let's say this is a candle. This was the previous day and this is the current day. You want to see, look at the wicks basically, right? You want to look at the wicks and then you want to see if this wick is like higher. For example, let's say this is a bullish candlestick and then this is a bearish candlestick, sort of like an engulfing. If you see this liquidity sweep on this, right, what you want to do is basically on the lower time frame, it's basically doing this, right? So it's basically consolidating over here. It's basically having a manipulation and we have a distribution leg right after towards the previous day's lows. Okay, so basically this is a forever the gap PT area manipulation because this is going to be the swing high. If there's a wick above this, so that's also applicable. So let me just show you guys. So as you can see, if I do this, there we go. So let's say just imagine this wick is like a little bit higher than this. So this is a manipulation and we have a distribution leg right after towards the lows. It's pretty fucking simple. Okay, it's pretty fucking straightforward. So basically this is what I'm expecting to see with on the lower time frames. For example, if this is the 1 day, this is going to be this. So let me show you guys this towards the low, the candles, the low of the candle is basically what I'm expecting to see in the next day. Okay, this. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to show you guys. If you guys can like look at the daily candles range theory, the accumulation, manipulation, and the distribution leg, the whole power of three concept, then you're pretty much good to go because you have a whole daily bias. A daily bias, you just want to like examine the previous candle and the PD areas around it, right? You don't want to overcomplicate it. So obviously if we have a 3 candle pattern going bullish, you don't want to be bearish unless we see a wick that's hanging. For example, this is retesting this swing high. So I'm expecting a wick to be above, as you can see, boom, we have the wick. So now I'm expecting price to take it towards the low of this candle, okay? So let's see how it plays out. Boom. See? So it's pretty simple because the low of the previous day's candle is so much easier to sort of target than anything else. For example, let's say you entered right here, knowing the fact that this is a manipulation, right? Because this order block was retested, as you guys can see. So basically, what I'm expecting here is to take this towards this low. Now this in itself gives you a 1 to 3. See? So basically, combining the daily candle and then applying that on, let's say for example, if we had to refine this further, because this is the whole concept of supply and demand, right? So you can see that this is the order block. So it seems to be retested, as you can see. Manipulation break, distribution leg right after. So I'm expecting a, let's see, let's go to the 15-minute and let's expect to refine this a little more. So for example, this order block right here on the 15-minute, this is the potential point of interest, right? So it's this one, this candle right here. And you guys can see they didn't even tap into this area over here, right? So you can see that there was a massive sell-off right after towards the previous day's low. So on the 15-minute, it's a extreme low. Anyways, guys, that's basically what I want to show you guys. That's basically a pretty good strategy, honestly. So you can like apply this regardless. So basically, you just want to like apply this in a fractal concept. For example, if your bias is off a 4-hour, you want to apply it to like lower and lower. So my bias is from the 4-hour, and I use 15-minute PD arrays to see where price is ping-ponging around, and 1 minute to entry from. So yeah, basically that's what I want to show you guys. And always wait for, if you don't know what's happening with the market, you want to make sure you see displacement above a swing high. Okay, if you don't see proper displacement, as in a body candle closing above the swing high, and then a pullback towards some sort of PD array, and if you don't see any like pullback specifically, and if you see like heavy displacement, that's also a sign of the market continuing in the direction that it's supposed to. So yeah, obviously, like if you pair this with the lower resistance liquidity runs, for example, like let's say this high, this high took out this high, but this high wasn't taken out until this point right here. So if you approach the market like that, I think you should be able to make pretty good money from the market. And you want to pay attention to I can't speak. Rejection blocks. Okay, so any rejection blocks are basically points of interest when it comes to the market. Okay, so now that I realized that this order block was actually almost retested over here, almost retested, and just look. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to show you guys. So yeah, obviously if you're refining the entry, you don't want to like go from like the 1-day candle all the way down to like a minute candle, because that would be extremely risky. But if you approach the market like this, for example, like this is the 15-minute bias on based off the daily candle. For example, okay, let me retest that. Let me see how it plays out, right? For example, let's say this order block has been reclaimed. We see this order block over here. Let's see if it reclaims it, because it seems to be breaking structure towards the upside. So even if this pulls back, I'm expecting price to sweep, break structure. I mean, have a minor pullback and then go higher. So for that, I need to see a proper market liquidity sweep. So let's see how this goes. Okay, it seems like there's equal lows over here. So ideally, I wouldn't want to trade this. It's not equal lows, but you get the point. So yeah, over here, this took out the highs. So I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. Let's see how the next candle is approaching this. Never mind. So we have a wick right above. So we see this liquidity sweep, right? But, okay, but what I'm expecting here, okay, even though this liquidity was swept, I'm expecting this high to be swept, okay? So if this high is not swept, I don't want to be bullish either way. You can see that this took out the lows of this candle anyway, but this seems like a very shit day to be trading anyway. Let me go for 1 candle forward. So now this has manipulated these lows. So now this is a point of interest. Let me just get rid of this. So you see, this is a point of interest. So I want to see basically over here. Let me show you guys. Let me mark out the candle range on the 1 day over here and mark out yesterday's candle. And because we closed lower, right? We're closed lower. I'm expecting price to take it towards this swing high. Okay, this closest drawn liquidity. So I'm expecting price to rebalance towards that swing high with no problems. So now let's see how this plays out on the 15-minute, right? Because after this first breaker structure, you want to be entering, right? After this. So let's say, for example, you entry somewhere like here, okay? You target this low and you target the previous day's high. Mind you, this whole range is basically the previous day's high. And I mean, the previous day, okay, over here. And then let's see how this plays out. and boom, TP. So it's basically the daily candle and the 15-minute. Let's see if this, obviously you don't want to go down towards the 1-minute candle because that's going to be a little risky. But over here, as you guys can see, because we broke structure towards the upside, if structure is holding, what I'm expecting here is low key. Let me just go to the daily again. So now we are back in the daily. So now I'm expecting price. So as you can see, because it took out these highs of the previous day and the day before, and it's almost about to take out this high as well. What I'm expecting price to do is come back a bit, at least. Okay, no, never mind. I'm expecting price to be bullish. Okay, I'm expecting price to be bullish until this point. Let's see how the next day plays out. Boom. Okay, until this point, I'm expecting price to be bullish. Let's wait for a wick above this. Boom. Okay, so this candle has a wick above. So now I'm expecting to take this trade from here to here. So let me just expand this a bit. So over here, let me just get out of this. There we go. So as you guys can see, what I'm expecting over here, okay, is price. Hold on. Where the fuck were we? Okay, there we go. So I'm expecting price to take it towards this swing low. Okay. So now let's go down towards the 15-minute. And once we see that market structure shift, we can expect price. So as you guys can see, this is the market structure shift. Over here, pullback, price pullbacks, pulls back towards this order block. I would put my stop loss right above this, and then I would put my TP all the way at the low of the previous day. Let's see how this plays out. I would risk like half this, so it's basically 12.67. So let's say 1267 divided by 2, so that's like 66.33. Somewhere around here. Oops. Somewhere around there. Okay. So even if you, okay, let's say for example, like we consider taking it all the way towards the previous day low. Let's see how that plays out. Boom. Look at that. Price kept consolidating for a while, and then boom, one candle, boom, all the way down there. So basically, let's expect to see the same sort of thing happen on yesterday's candle. For example, this one, I did not, I want to see a wick below this. Let's see where the wick is. Come on, show me the wick. Okay, there we go. So this wick right here is basically proving that this is the dealing range of the current candle, right? So obviously we have a sweep over here, so I'm expecting a sweep somewhere. Yep, there we have it. So we have this sweep over here. We have this market structure shift. So if I apply, not apply, but you get the point, right? So basically, if I entry somewhere like here, right? I could even entry off this order block. Yeah, I think I would low-key wait for this order block to be swept. And then, let's say, for example, let's look at the previous day's high. Let's see. I think the previous day's high was somewhere here. Should be somewhere here. So now let's expect price to take it to that point. Let's see how this plays out. Yep, got stopped out. That's okay. I was a little hesitant because of the fact that these equal lows right here, not really acting as if they're equal lows, right? So I'm expecting price to low key. Let's see. So yeah, basically this manipulation right here. Okay, this makes sense because this was taking out this low. So this manipulation. So the next day candle should be above this. So I'm expecting to take trade price towards the swing high over here. So I'm expecting a market structure shift, obviously. So I want this high to be broken, Lowkey. And then afterwards, let's see. Okay, so we have a lower high over here. And we're expecting a pullback towards a, at least towards this area right here. Let's see how this pulls back. Okay, price seems to be consolidating way too much. I don't really want to entry if the price is consolidating way too much. So overall, we're expecting to hit this target. So let's see if it hits this target. Or let's say, for example, oops, my bad. See if it hits this target. Seems like it's about to hit the target because it's breaking structure towards. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we have it. Oops. So let me go back to the daily. And let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have this manipulation, obviously. And we have this wick, which is being rebalanced from this fair value gap. So let's expect this to be some sort of candle over here as well. This is a rebalance, so I'm expecting price to low-key come back towards this low right here, right? At least towards, yeah. So I'm expecting this manipulation, and then the next day, I'm trying to take this lower towards this low, okay? So let's see how this plays out on the 15 minute. All right, let's see how this plays out. So you can see that this is basically the low. So I'm expecting a market structure shift. Okay, we got that. So now I'm expecting price to sort of rebalance. Okay, so we have a order block over here. Let's see if it rebalances. Okay, price is showing little to no displacement. That's okay. That's fine. I'd entry somewhere here. Target these highs. And target this previous day low over here. See how this plays out? I'd probably target this over here. This point. Okay. It's like a 1 and 2. Boom. TP. Okay. So now let's go back towards the 1 day. Let's see how this plays out on the previous day. So you can see this is the previous day. And this is the current day. Okay. So current day obviously needs to, you know, we see this market structure shift, obviously. I mean, this manipulation, obviously. So I'm expecting price to low-key be bullish anyway towards this high over here. This exact point right here. This point. This wicks high. Okay. So let's see if we can. Ideally, I would like to see a market structure shift, but that's fine. Okay, so we see this high over here. Oops. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Nope. Okay, that's fine. We need to see a market structure shift, and then towards the pullback, and then entry from there. Yeah, so I want to see a market structure shift. That's what I'm expecting price to do. Okay, we have a new high. Needs to be broken. Else, if it breaks structure towards the downside, that means it's a reversal. Okay. Yep. Let's see how this plays out. Could be a sweep. I don't know. Looks like a sweep. Never mind. So it kept going towards the other side because this inter-term low was broken, right? Or you could consider this inter-term low. Even this inter-term low. Yep. Because this was the current dealing range, obviously. So you can see the price just kept going lower and lower and lower. So yeah, you just want to wait for a market structure shift confirmation. For example, like if you see a wick above or below the candle, that's like a really good sign of the fact that obviously, like, you know, scenarios like this, I would expect price to low-key just take this low and then go. But low-key, it is an order block, so it could rebalance and then go higher. So if I see one more candle above, or if I see a market structure shift, proper market structure shift on the lower time frames, then I will, in fact, consider entering. So we see this high. Okay, we see this high over here. So let's see if we can entry from here. Okay, let's see if this nope. Seems like it retested this fair value gap. This fair value gap is what it retested. This one. This fair value gap is what it retested, this unmitigated fair value gap. Okay, assume we entered over here. See, we entry it over here and we take this towards the high, the previous day's high. It goes and hits TP. Yo, what's up, man? JT trader. I'm pretty shit at this, by the way. Don't take this. So let's see. So yesterday, so it's swept the liquidity. So now I'm expecting a distribution leg towards the upside. Let's see. So this was the lows and the highs. So obviously I would aim towards here because it swept these lows. But obviously I don't want to like consider it just off of that. I want to see like extra. This could be an order block, Lowkey. So this could be the reason price goes lower. Okay, we see it's manipulation. We have this distribution like right here. What do we see next? Why not using, sorry? DXY as in like, oh, you mean like the dollar index for, yeah, I should use the dollar index because like it's like directly correlated with in this case it's indirectly correlated, right? So yeah, because the dollar is going, okay, dollar seems to go higher in value, right? So that means that's why this is going lower. Because it's the euro against the dollar. I use what was that thing called? Forgot the name of it. So over here we see this. Let's see. EU is 50% of DXY, so for EU it's very useful. Right. 50% of DXY. Interesting. It's gonna, hold up, what is this? I want to see this low being taken out. Obviously we're breaking structure towards the downside, right? So I'm expecting some sort of wick here, and then can we wick? No wick. Okay, it's basically equal highs. So I'm expecting price will like take this liquidity at some point. But it's a reclaimed order block at this point, so see how this goes. Seems like we took the lows. Okay, went the opposite direction. It's often that you get DXY in discount, but EU will make SMT. You will make SMT, and your idea might still be correct. Right. You get DXY in discount, but EU will make SMT. Right. DXY in discount as in. Let me see if I can see if we can. I wanna like master the theory of the previous day, because this swept slightly above. So I'm low-key expecting price to go lower. Look at your Discord, I'll show you what I mean. Give me a sec. Got you.